Ever felt like there simply aren't enough hours in the day to get everything done? Or perhaps you've tried managing your time better but still find yourself scrambling to meet deadlines? Whether you're just starting out to improve your time management or you're a seasoned professional looking to optimize every minute, today's video is for you. We're exploring 3 powerful time management techniques to cater all skill levels. You can start with a more basic method and gradually build up to more advanced strategies, or mix and match to find what works best for you. The stages I'm walking you through actually reflect my personal time management journey, and I started out with the basic techniques more than 10 years ago, and ever since I've perfected my time management and built out my skills step by step. So if you're tired of feeling behind and ready to take control of your day, you're in the right place. But let me ask you one question before we dive in. Have you ever faced a day so packed with tasks that even starting felt overwhelming? I remember when I was juggling multiple client projects as well as internal company projects, each demanding attention and feeling like I was constantly behind. It's like facing a massive buffet and not knowing where to start. Everything looks important and tasty, but you can only tackle one thing at a time. But what if I told you there's a method to navigate through this chaos with ease? So this brings me to a powerful technique I adopted during those hectic days in project management. Initially, the constant switching between tasks left me exhausted and unproductive, because as you might know, task switching, or even worse, multitasking, is killing your productivity. That's because each switch forces your brain to refocus, draining mental energy and increasing the time it takes to complete a task. Every time you shift from one task to another, your brain has to navigate a cognitive transition, which can lead to errors and reduce overall efficiency. This constant shifting not only slows you down, but can also heighten stress and diminish the quality of your work. So the turning point came when I not only realized how bad task switching or multitasking are, but also when I shifted from a reactive to a proactive approach. And here's how it worked. Instead of reacting to whatever task shouted the loudest, I began time blocking. I divided my workday into dedicated blocks of time, each set aside for a specific activity. So this isn't just about having a schedule. It's about committing to doing certain types of work to certain times, turning a reactive day into a series of proactive, manageable segments. Here's what that meant in practice. First of all, you need to plan ahead. Each evening, I took a few minutes to plan the next day. I divided my workday into blocks of time dedicated to specific tasks or types of work. For example, right after a short 30-minute session to clean my inbox, mornings from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. were reserved for deep analytical tasks, while afternoons were for meetings and client calls. In setting up time blocks, it was crucial to be realistic about how much time each task actually required. This included accounting for breaks and unexpected delays, ensuring that each block was manageable and not overly optimistic. In addition, I like to schedule some buffer or overflow blocks. These are 30-minute time blocks that serve as a time buffer in case a previous task runs over or if there is something important coming up. Working with time blocks, it's important to stick to your schedule. That means discipline is key. During each scheduled block, I focused solely on the assigned task. This meant no checking emails or taking calls during a deep work block, thereby minimizing distractions and enhancing productivity. Even though it's key to stick to your dedicated working sessions, it's at least as important to stay flexible. If nothing important requires your attention, you should work according to your plans. But in case there is something urgent that requires your attention, you need to stay flexible and be able to quickly adapt your plans. The beauty of time blocking is the psychological clarity it provides. By breaking your day into dedicated time segments, you free your mind to focus on the task at hand without the worry of anything else that needs to be done. So each block is a mini project, complete with its own beginning, middle, and end. In practice, I use a digital calendar to color code my time blocks, making it visually clear what I should be focusing on and when. This isn't just about keeping myself busy. It's about being strategically busy and thereby productive. It's a way to ensure that at the end of the day, I can look back and see a series of completed tasks rather than a chaotic jumble. So if you like the tips in this video so far, make sure to subscribe to my newsletter and grab your free copy of the Essential Guide to 3x Productivity. Let's be honest, are you tired of feeling buried by your to-do list, constantly running out of time and never making real progress? If you're exhausted by the daily grind, wasting time and stressing out without seeing the expected results, then you need this guide. It's packed with proven strategies that actually work to triple your productivity by mastering 3 key areas. Building solid structures that keep your day organized and focused. Creating simple systems that make managing your time, tasks, and priorities effortless, and supercharging your workflow with Microsoft 365 tips that save you hours. So if you're ready to reclaim your time, reduce your mental load, and get more done every day, don't wait. Sign up for my newsletter via the link in the description, grab the free guide, and start making real lasting progress today. As you become more comfortable managing your time and are ready to take it to the next level, there's a technique that builds beautifully on the foundations you've laid with time blocking. Imagine ending a day not just by shutting down your computer, but by setting yourself up for success for the next. This is where the Ivy Lee method comes into play, a century-old strategy that remains one of the simplest yet most effective ways to boost your productivity. What is the Ivy Lee method? This method was developed by productivity consultant Ivy Lee in the early 20th century, and it's remarkably straightforward. Every evening, you list the 6 most important tasks you need to accomplish the next day and prioritize them in order of true importance. Now you might say that the Ivy Lee method is rather a prioritization than a time management technique. The method goes beyond simple task prioritization by embedding these priorities into a daily workflow that optimizes when and how tasks are tackled. It's about the strategic allocation of your most valuable resource, time. So by ensuring that high priority tasks are not only identified, but also scheduled at the start of your day when your energy is the highest, the method guarantees that these tasks get the attention and effort they require. This intentional placement transforms prioritization into effective time management. Here's how it works in practice. List 6 crucial tasks for the next day. Identify the tasks that, if completed, would make the most significant impact on your progress. These should be the things that are absolutely essential for the day. Now rank them by importance. Prioritize these tasks in order of true urgency and importance. This isn't just about deadlines. Consider the strategic value of each task. Now the next day, start with the most important task you identified and stick with it until it's complete. This ensures that your peak productivity hours are spent on the most critical work. Here, a quick word of caution. If you're rather a night owl than an early bird and your most productive hours are in the afternoon or evening, feel free to reschedule your tasks accordingly and start with the least important tasks in the morning. Then follow the same approach for remaining tasks. Continue with the second task only after the first is completed, and so forth. This method keeps you laser focused, reducing the inefficiency that comes from task switching. And finally, transfer any unfinished tasks to the next day. At the end of the day, any tasks that weren't completed should be assessed and placed appropriately on the next day's list. This ensures continuity and prevents important tasks from falling through the cracks. I really like the simplicity yet effectiveness of the Ivy Lee method, as well as the fact that it perfectly complements other productivity or time management methods, such as time blocking. For example, the Ivy Lee method helps you identify that your top priority is a challenging project proposal and realize that this will take about 2 hours. Then you can use time blocking to reserve your most productive morning hours for this task. This combination of setting and scheduling priorities minimizes downtime and ensures that your days are well planned and efficiently executed. So when I first heard about the Ivy Lee method, I was a bit intimidated. To be honest, it sounded like a super fancy but theoretical time management and prioritization technique. One that looks great on paper but is not really applicable for daily use. But I was wrong. I tried it out and found that it's actually quite simple and super easy to integrate in my daily routine. I really liked that it not only helped me prioritize my work better, yet in a simple way, but it also instilled a greater sense of control and accomplishment. Each day ended with a clear progress, and each morning began with a defined purpose. So if you want to feel the same level of accomplishment, I do not only recommend trying out the time management methods that I'm covering in this video, but I'm also recommending getting my Productivity Booster Pack. This essential toolkit includes more than 100 flashcards, each packed with a unique productivity method in 5 crucial categories: personal effectiveness, personal growth and well-being, professional development, interpersonal skills, and strategic planning. So whether you're refining your personal habits, enhancing your professional skills, or planning your next big move, these cards provide actionable tips and techniques to help you thrive in every area of life. Ready to boost your productivity? Then click the link in the description to secure your pack today and take the first step towards a more organized and productive life. So let's do this together. Now that you have discovered a more basic and intermediate time management technique, let's discover one that is even more advanced. But before we dive into it, let's recall that time is your most precious asset, irreplaceable and finite. Every day comes with 24 hours. How you use each of those hours directly impacts your success and personal well-being. For those of us balancing high-demanding careers, personal lives, and ambitions, effectively managing each segment of our day isn't just a luxury, it's essential. That's where the next time management method comes into place: the zero-based calendar. A method that takes no hour for granted, ensuring that every minute of your day is purposefully allocated. So a zero-based calendar schedules every hour of your day, blending work and personal life to get the most out of your day. It extends the principle of time blocking just for work, making sure there's a place and a purpose for everything you need and want to do, even in your private life. You might think that a zero-based calendar is a rather theoretical approach, but there are people who follow it. Bill Gates, for example, meticulously plans for his days, and although he may not label his method a zero-based calendar, the discipline and precision reflects similar principles. So here's how they and you can also do this in practice. Schedule everything. Block out all your non-negotiables: sleep, meals, exercise. Then layer in your professional responsibilities, using prioritization strategies to assign time slots that match the importance and demand of each task. And finally, plan the remaining time with your private projects, meetings, or other leisure time activities. In any case, be detailed and deliberate. That means you should allocate time for all activities, including those often overlooked like checking emails, brainstorming sessions, or even short coffee breaks. Detailing these in your calendar prevents time leaks and helps in maintaining focus throughout the day. To maintain a proper overview, you need to review and adjust regularly. At the end of each day, review of what you achieved against what was planned. Adjust tomorrow's schedule based on today's insights, enhancing your approach to time management with each iteration. Now, if you think that zero-based calendar is complex and a lot of effort, I partially agree. Although we already have heard that it can have great advantages, such as increasing purpose and intention by making sure time is not wasted. However, there are also some challenges that come with implementing this method. One of the primary drawbacks is its rigidity. The tight scheduling can sometimes lead to stress, especially if unexpected tasks or emergencies disrupt the planned day. Additionally, the level of detail required in planning every minute can be overwhelming for some, potentially taking way too much time than it should. But from personal experience, let me tell you that it's quite simple to overcome those challenges. When I first wanted to implement this zero-based calendar, I was pretty overwhelmed. But the key in following this method is to plan smart. For me, that meant using my digital calendar and blocking out my daily regular slots such as sleep, commute, lunch, break, or going to the gym. These things usually happen at the exact same time every day. Now, if you follow to plan your regular weekly or bi-weekly work meetings such as show fixes, team meetings, or project meetings, you will see that most likely your calendar is already quite packed. And the great thing about those regular meetings is that you just need to schedule and plan them once and only change them occasionally, which makes 80% of the planning and scheduling a one-time effort. After my regular tasks, I plan for the remaining things and schedule slots for deep work sessions, other project meetings, emails, coffee breaks, or slots that can be used flexibly depending on what needs to be done. Next to time management, procrastination is another common challenge in daily life, often leading us to tidy up our desks or scrolling through emails instead of tackling tasks. But overcoming procrastination is easier than you might think. So watch this video next where I reveal 5 simple tips to beat procrastination.